What is going on, guys? In today's NBA 2K16 video, we're going to be having more of a little bit of a real-life discussion. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what I think the Celtics should do with the third overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft. So, we're going to be simming a couple of different simulations, just a couple of situations to like what I think they should do with this Brooklyn Nets number 3rd overall pick, and I'll see you guys one time in simulation number 1. Alright guys, so here we go in scenario number 1. This scenario is that the Celtics still have the 3rd pick, the 76ers have the 1st pick, and the Lakers of course have the 2nd pick. The rest of the draft order is kind of screwed up just because that kind of got messed up. But with the number 1 pick, the Philadelphia 76ers are going to go ahead and they will select Ben Simmons. That is no surprise really, it's just kind of up in the air who, I mean Sims or Ingram really, you really can't go wrong unless one of them turns out to be like an Anthony Bennett or Greg Oden. But anyways, I see the first 2 picks definitely 100% being Ben Simmons and Brandon Ingram, without a doubt in my mind. In this scenario, I do see the Celtics actually keeping the 3rd pick, and then we're going to see who they draft with them, and I do have some players in mind. Number 2 pick with the Lakers goes to Brandon Ingram, no surprise there, of course. So those are the first 2 picks, and now we'll see. I'm not going to look through the offers just because this is going to be who we'll select. So now let's get into who they're going to select. This will ever hurry up. Okay, so I am not going to look at those offers. Not even going to peer at them. Alright, so with the 3rd overall pick, there is a lot of options the Celtics could take. They could take Buddy Hield out of Oklahoma, who is in some people's minds projected or should be the 1st overall pick just how well he played in college in his senior year. But personally, I think the Celtics do not need another guard. That's pretty much the last thing they need. They're pretty much locked down with Marcus Smart, Isaiah Thomas, think of Avery Bradley. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of that. Maybe RJ Hunter even a little bit in the future. So I do not see them taking Buddy Hield just because it would add in too many guards. Jamal Murray, similar situation. He could be a decent backup point guard, but I mean, if that would require us moving Marcus Smart, which I don't see unless it's an absolutely amazing trade, but there would have to be something else besides Marcus Smart to make it an amazing trade, if that made any sense. Jaylen Brown is one of my 2 possibilities that I do see. He is out of Cal. He is a young 19-year-old player. I can't see him being a backup small forward just behind Jay Crowder. Obviously, that would not really leave too much room for Evan Turner. That would disappoint him too much. I think if we were to draft Evan Turner, he probably would not want to come back just because I feel like Jay Crowder would still start, and then maybe Jaylen Brown eventually at some point would take over that role of the small forward position. So what I do see happening though is the Celtics drafting Dragan Bender. He is from overseas, so you never know what would happen with him, but what I do see, I don't see him being straight up Porzingis. I see him fitting nicely into a power forward or center position. I see him beating out Sullinger for the center position, possibly Amir Johnson. The Celtics really want to pick up his $12 million option. At the power forward position, I see him being a nice talent. I don't completely see him being a bust. I can see why he has appeal to the Celtics, obviously, but it might not be a good situation. I mean, there's always situations where he could turn out to be like Andrea Bargnani, and he can just be an absolute bust, supposedly absolutely nasty, and he turns in bad. But also, he could turn into a Kristaps Porzingis. So that is where I think the Celtics' really only risk is. But in this scenario, I am going to go ahead and draft him, and I'll see you guys in scenario number 2. With the 3rd pick. Alright guys, I'm here with scenario number 3. And this scenario has been discussed a lot recently. I have seen many articles on this. I've seen it on like ESPN, just kind of a little mock draft thing. I've seen it all over social media. This would be sending the 3rd pick in the 2016 NBA draft in Jordan Mickey for Jahlil Okafor. This is because Jahlil Okafor did not really fit in with this Philadelphia 76ers really way of basketball in his rookie season. Obviously, he is a rookie, so he's not quite there yet. Well, they have a plethora of big men. They have Joel Embiid, and they have Nerlens Noel. So Jahlil Okafor is obviously, he has to split time with them. I don't think he really wants to do that. If he comes over to a team like the Celtics, he'll 100% start at center. He'll definitely start over like Jared Sullinger. That is even if the Celtics do re-sign him in this offseason. So I can see this working out for both teams because then the 76ers would have back-to-back picks. They could possibly go ahead and select, or not back-to-back picks. They were the 1st and 3rd picks, so they could obviously go ahead and either draft Ingram, Simmons, whoever they want, and then they could go ahead and draft Buddy Hield, something they do need. They need good talent at the shooting guard position, point guard position. Buddy Hield's not a point guard, but shooting guard position, really just the guard position in general. This could be good for them just because they get rid of one more big man who really just, they don't want more people splitting time. And it also gives them 2 top 3 picks in this draft, and that's really going to help them improve as a team. So I can definitely see how this would help both teams. Obviously, if I do go ahead and do this right here, they're going to decline it. I'm just going to go ahead and override it. See what the rotation would look like with Jahlil Okafor on the team. Obviously, this would just have him in the center position. Obviously, this does not leave much room for guys like Jared Sullinger. His contract is up at the end of this season. He does not have a team option or a player option, and I do not see how this could possibly work for him. He does not want to come back possibly in a rotation with 4 centers on the Celtics team. Kelly Olynyk, he does have a team option, so the Celtics are more than likely going to pick that up. It's a cheap $3 million option for someone who is a good 3-point shooter, a good defender, and a good rebounder. So I cannot actually see Jared Sullinger wanting to come back to this team. This is why I feel like Okafor would be better, just because he has a nice cheap contract. He's on a 2-year team option after 2016. We can roll him through 2018 nice and cleanly. If he does fit in, then you keep him. It's beautiful. If he does not work, however, that is where you really screwed yourself, just because it does not really, I mean, you traded possibly an absolutely great pick where you could have drafted Dragan Bender. What if he's absolutely nasty? What if he's the next Porzingis? So this is where I see the Celtics having to make kind of a tough decision. Obviously, Tyler Zeller might be gone. He is expiring at the end of the season. And, I mean, I don't really see 4 centers fitting on one team. I mean, really, they only run 2 in real life, really. I mean, Zeller occasionally gets minutes, but it's really just Sullinger and Olynyk that really split the minutes. Obviously, you take away Okafor because he's really not on the Celtics in real life. But that is scenario number 2. Personally, that would be my favorite scenario, unless you guys will see scenario number 3. But this is currently my preferred scenario over scenario number 1, just because it is a definite improvement at the center position. I'll see you guys in scenario number 3. Alright guys, we are here with scenario number 3. Once again, just ignore the rest of the draft order except for the top 3 picks. But what this one is going to do, it is going to actually trade the Celtics number 3 overall pick for the Lakers number 2 overall pick. This guarantees the Celtics either Ben Simmons or Brandon Ingram. So, what for this trade, I feel like the Celtics would have to do a lot. I feel like number 1, they'd have to throw in a cheap player who is still under contract. He'd still be under contract. And for this to happen, I feel like they would probably have to throw someone like Avery Bradley in. I know this probably wouldn't be ideal, but this is, I mean, he takes up a good shooting guard spot. But, I mean, the only thing is, with the 3rd pick in the draft, they would probably select a shooting guard in Buddy Hield. So, there's no one here that Celtics can really offer that's still be under contract. I mean, Jordan Mickey maybe, but he's really not that good. So, I mean, what I see the Lakers doing is, I see them accepting this trade for Avery Bradley, and then what I also see them doing is, I also see them keeping Avery Bradley to play shooting guard, and then, because now they would have the 3rd pick, I see them trading for the 4th pick, and depends what team or what happens with the 4th pick. If they trade it, they can trade that pick, so whoever has the 4th pick can get a shooting guard and Buddy Hield, and then they can play Avery Bradley at the shooting guard position, obviously because Kobe's retiring, and then they can draft Dragan Bender with the 4th overall pick. So it's kind of a win-win. This would be my favorite just because we would get either Ben Simmons or Brandon Ingram. But I mean, I don't know if they would actually do this in real life. They might not even do it here. Yeah, they do it here. But so with this 1st overall pick, I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to select Ben Simmons. Once again, just ignore the rest of the draft order. They do take Ben Simmons. I screwed up. I just had to force a couple of trades, so the top picks would be kind of normal. So with the number 2 pick in the draft, the Boston Celtics are going to select Brandon Ingram out of Duke University. This is good because we can move Crowder to play power forward, then Ingram can play shooting small forward. Just because Ingram is a little bit lanky, he's kind of like Kevin Durant. I don't see him possibly playing power forward, and I'll show you guys what this rotation looks like with. Actually, no, I'll just sim it with you guys. We can see what the rotation does look like with Ingram playing the small forward position. I also like this because Jay Crowder can fit in at a power forward position. He can throw some bodies. He does what he does. He's a good rebounder. He's a good defensive player. He's kind of an animal when it comes to rebounding against some smaller players, obviously. but he's also a great defensive player. Now, the Celtics do take a big hit in losing Avery Bradley here. It's not that good. But, I mean, they accepted that clearly in this game, but that's just because it is a game. But, oh, I can't access this. Alright, you know what? I'll show you guys once I Simmons forward. Alright, guys, I just realized that if I sim forward, it's going to sign me a bunch of free agents that I don't want. So, if this does happen and we keep this team, Isaiah Thomas should obviously be starting at the point guard position, shooting guard. This is where the issue comes up, because obviously no one on here is good enough to play shooting guard yet. So what they would have to do, they would have to target someone in free agency, if that being DeMar DeRozan at the end of the season, because the Raptors can't afford DeRozan and Biyombo together. That would have to happen, but I mean, obviously DeRozan's the Raptors' #1 target. DeRozan has also been rumored to go to the Lakers, but they would have to find a shooting guard in free agency. That is where they'd really take the hit, would be the shooting guard position. Obviously, if they do get Evan Turner back, he can maybe play a little bit of shooting guard. Just because, I mean, he is 6'7". I mean, his position on here for some reason is a little small forward slash point guard. I don't really understand that. But he can play shooting guard if the Celtics want to kind of go big. Then Jay Crowder, I would see him going to the power forward position just because, I mean, he is 235 pounds. He's a body to move. And you're not going to really out-muscle him. So, I mean, some power forwards might occasionally, if you have like Derek Favors or Chris Bosh, they'll move him. But he can be aggressive on the boards, and he can also be a great defender. And then this puts, where is he? Oh, it doesn't have my draft pick. That's annoying. But it puts Brandon Ingram at the small forward position, and that's where I really feel like it would be a great fit for the Celtics. So that is my #1 overall choice. If you guys want to let me know what you guys think the Celtics should do with the 3rd overall pick, make sure to let me know that down in the comment section below. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I did one with 76ers, kind of just like who would be better, Simmons or Ingram for the 76ers. That ended up being Ingram for some reason. But if you guys do want me to do a video of what I should do with the Lakers' 2nd overall pick, make sure to let me know that down in the comment section below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you all in the next video.